I had 3 questions from my school group. Question 1 is going to be, what's the best way to test creatives without wasting budget? So this is on Meta Ads, and I would just suggest you use an ABO testing. So that means you set the budget on the ad set level. But what's most important is you track your KPIs from day one. So I made a video on this and I added this to the document, but basically it's titled Top Meta Ad KPIs to Track. And in here I go over the main KPIs that you should target. So that means CTR, CPC, and I have benchmark for all of those. So in the video, let's say you want to see CPC, then you just go inside, and CPC stands for cost per click. On the left side, I have some industry benchmarks. For example, the auto industry, it's over $2, so you can compare your data. But usually my benchmark for CPC is $1. I mean, with the US audience, you rarely go above, go under 50 cents. But $1 is a great benchmark. And it also depends on your messaging. So the text and headline you use in your ad copies is going to affect your CPC. And then next, your best creative testing benchmark is going to be the click-through rates, which is CTR. Again, I have a benchmark of 1%. And then let's say your ads are starting out with a 0.3% CTR, then you already know it's not going to perform. And then you can just cut those because CTR is too high. And if you just spend more money, usually it doesn't get any better. So I recommend you watch the KPI video, but you should really just look for the benchmarks. And if your ads are under the benchmark, usually there's no point of running them because they are not going to turn out to be crazy performers or amazing winners. The next question is, what's the easiest way to automate follow-ups? So this is for e-commerce. So these KPIs you can use for e-commerce, lead gen, or basically any campaigns. I suggest using them. Mm, if you are running an engagement campaign on Meta, those are going to be the cheapest ones. So usually an engagement campaign has better CTRs, but if you are going for a lead gen or a purchase campaign, I recommend sticking to these benchmarks. Yeah. So for lead campaigns, I would use the same numbers: 1% CTR, $1 CPC, and I can just make a new video on this just to update this layout because it's pretty outdated. But if you go through this, you see the CPM and all the other breakdown, as well as some custom metrics that I have at the end. For example, if you have an e-commerce website, you can measure hook rates. Oh, sorry. If you have an e-commerce website, you can measure add to cart to link click ratios or purchase to add to cart ratios. And then here are some custom metrics you can use for video testing: hook rates and hold rates. For both of them, 25% is a great benchmark. So if you are running video ads, it's also important to check these. Question 2 is, what's the easiest way to automate follow-ups? So this one is a high-level question, and it's going to be actually a sneak peek into my next tutorial video. I'm going to make a full guide that's going to be at least 30 to 40 minutes long. So I'm currently working on this, but please stay patient. It's gonna be a longer guide. But here's one follow-up that I use. So this is in HighLevel. This is just a super basic automation. I have a form submitted trigger, and then I add a tag, create an opportunity, and then assign it to a user, which is me or my VA. And then I have an internal notification that, hey, someone has filled out the form. So we wait 1 minute, and then we send the first email. In this case, it was a lead magnet with e-commerce quick wins. I was doing an ebook. So I had a template, and then it just looked like this. Let me just show you the edit version. So this is my template that I was using for the emails. It has my custom color, my my image, my website, and then just thanks for grabbing the guide. Click below to download it, and then inside you'll find the 5 quick wins to help your store make more money. So what I recommend if you do any kind of automations, once you finish or you go to the end step, I recommend adding a wait X amount of days. For example, I just added 3,000 days, so there's plenty time, but it's great because they are going to be in this automation flow. And let's say now I want to reactivate these leads. I want to add 5 more emails. So now I can just duplicate this action, copy action, and then you can just paste the action under the weight. And then you can just change the weight to, let's say, 1 day. And then you can push all of your leads in this step to the next step with this button. So select contacts to move them to the next step. So I can just select all the contacts and then push them to the next step. So I think it's just best to have a wait as the last step always, in case you want to reactivate these leads in HighLevel. So to answer your question, I think the easiest way to automate follow-ups is just using HighLevel, building a super simple automation, and then just sending emails. You see I have my email, and then it's pretty easy to do. If you guys want, I can make a snapshot and then give away 1 or 2 templates that you can use for these simple automations. But now HighLevel also has a workflow AI that's going to help you create more automations. Next, the last question I have is how I balance organic and paid traffic. So it all just depends on what's your budget. I mean, if you have money to pour into your campaigns, then go ahead and start paid advertising. You can see results starting as low as $10 to $15 per day. I wouldn't go below that because then it's going to be super slow. And then if you start running paid ads, I suggest you wait at least 2 or 3 days actually to get some data because there are going to be weaker and better days. Me personally, let's say I'm thinking about my free Skool community. I I'm going to start running paid traffic to my Skool community, but it's going to be around just $10 per day because I already get a bunch of organic traffic. One way to get organic traffic is SEO and search. So lots of people just search Meta Ads on Skool and then my communities pop up and then they join or they see my videos and then I get organic leads. Mm. So for example, if you go to discover communities on Skool and then you search for Meta Ads, I have 2 communities on Meta Ads. So here's the Meta Ads Basics, number 4. So if you search, I'm number 4, you'll see it's pretty eye-catching. And then if you are an English user, you see this one is for Latin America, this one is in German, and this one is also in German. And then this one, I believe, is in Spanish. So I'm basically the first group to pop up as an English group. So you go inside, you see it's Meta Ad Basics, and then you see my About page, grow your business with Meta Ads, generate leads like crazy, and I have what you'll get in my group. So currently, I'm mostly using organic to grow both of my Skool groups, but now I'm going to be adding paid traffic. And that's also how I started my Skool journey. So for the first 150 members, they all came from Facebook ads. So I actually practiced what I preach, and I use Meta ads to grow my business. There's actually one more question I see in the live chat. So Jeffrey, it was from you. So you have a whiteboard Go High Level, and then you want to get the information off of it, and if you don't want to use the host services. So that's something I'm also going to make a video on. And that would be basically just moving all your data from one sub account to another. So there's 2 ways to do this. You can also just sign up with an affiliate link and then get a free high-level trial. For example, in my description, I have a 14-day free trial. And if you actually sign up with my link, you get free access to my paid Skool community, which is now 47 per month. So, and then you also get free high-level access. And then I'll show you how you can migrate all your sub-account data to your own high-level account. But keep in mind, if you create your own high-level account, you'll have to pay extra because you need to pay taxes. And depending on where you live, it's going to add the VAT, which is going to be 15 to 20% usually, which is actually more expensive. So it depends on what kind of deal you get. um, with your current high level account, depends on how much you pay. But if you join my paid Skool community, which is I mentioned, it's currently 47 per month. As a bonus, you also get a free high level sub account. So I can just take your data, mm, import, give you a new sub account. I'll have all your data on your sub account just like you have now, and you pay only 47 per month. And then you also have access to all my everything in the classroom, the advanced meta guides, and then more live weekly calls in the group. So for example, in the calendar, if we, let's say in September, in the first week, we had 4 calls, these live calls, and then I have calls just for the group inside. Then you get access to my community as well. But it's not hard to migrate your data from one sub account from another. I think it's going to be best if I just create another video on this. So Jeffrey, I know you are already in the freeze community. So I'll reach out to you and then I'll help you. And then hopefully I understood your question correctly. And then hopefully it helps. All right, that's all for today. But if you have any more questions regarding meta ads or high level strategies, just let me know, comment down below the video, and I'll make sure to respond to them. Otherwise, in the description, you are going to find 2 links. The first is going to be my free Skool community. Currently, we have over 360 members, and it's the perfect place if you are just starting on your journey with meta ads on high level, and it's completely free. So you are welcome to join. It's a great community. And if you are looking for something more, there's a 14-day free trial to high level. And it's also going to give you a free access to my paid community, which is currently $47 per month. So you can grab the free trial using the link in my description. And then I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.